Keeping a candidate hanging in the process is totally unacceptable, right? Always tell candidates what to expect and when. That is called, I've been talking about it all morning, it's called candidate experience, yeah? Courtesy. Called courtesy. Starts with a C. Contracting. Contracting. So I'm going to tell you, listen, I'm going to get back to you by Friday, and this is what I'm going to do on Friday. If anything changes, by the way, I would need you to contact me. So that's important. Always tell a candidate what to expect and when. And always, always, always follow up. If you don't get the hiring manager to get you a call on Friday to tell you about the status, then don't ignore that. Call the candidate up and say, listen, I wanted to tell you what the status of your candidacy was, but I don't know because the hiring manager hasn't told me yet, but I will call you as soon as I do. Let me talk to you again on Wednesday, okay? This is a big problem in our industry because what happens is generally this does not happen. We just, assume things. Now, also, don't stress about legal issues. You will go to 20 other sessions at PIRA today, all with attorneys telling you all kinds of scary, horrible things that a candidate can do. And we walk around like this all the time. If a candidate does not get a job, let me ask you a question. Is ethics and trustworthiness and honesty a value that you want to recruit for in your company? So why is it that in our profession we expect candidates to lie to us and lie to people? For example, do you think an employed candidate goes to their boss and says, hey, listen, Sue, I need tomorrow off because I'm interviewing for a job over with Rose in Silmar, California, and it's a better job and it pays more money. I'd like that time off. No, we expect candidates will figure out a way to get out of their job time. They're going to have a dentist appointment, a grandparent will pass away, a child needs to go to a soccer game or whatever, right? Okay? We expect that. So candidates are owed money. They're owed for that money, which is, that was time that they took away. Our money to repay them is to be honest with them and tell them what's going on and why. So for example, if a candidate does not get a job, and you need to tell them they didn't get a job, then you need to call them up on the phone and tell them, you didn't get the job. We selected a candidate whose background and qualifications more suited the position, period. But Jeremy, what about all those psycho people that say why? Then you tell them, if it is a bona fide occupational reason, then you can tell them, you did not have SAP experience the job required. We've selected another candidate whose background and qualifications more suited that. Now, I know your law firm and your legal people are going to tell you don't do that, but the candidate is owed something for their time, okay? If, in fact, they have a third eye, they stink so bad that they spit at you when they talk to you, and they just don't fit the culture, you can't tell them that, but you can tell them, we've decided to select a candidate whose background and qualifications more suit the position. That's all. Okay? I have a whole tip. I knew this was going to ask you questions. Yes, Rose from Silmar.
What happens if you do the references and you find something and you can tell them what it is and you don't have another candidate, but you still have to give them the feedback? What do you do?
So what I tell, so the question is if I find a good candidate and I do a reference check and it's something really bad on the reference check, I will definitely call up the candidate and I will say, listen, John, we've decided to pursue other candidates whose background and qualifications more suit the opportunity. That's all I need to say. If they say to me something like, why? This is how it normally works, right? I call up on the candidate and I'm calling, let's say I'm calling Deb right here. And Deb, play with me here. Hi, Deb, listen, I'm calling about the job. Listen, you didn't get the job. We've decided to pursue candidates whose background and qualifications more suit the opportunity.
Well, did they give you specifics on why?
Yeah, again, Deb, as I said, we've decided to select a candidate whose background and qualifications more suit the position. Now, normally, this is how it normally works, right? Hi, Deb.
Perfect candidate.
Yeah, so normally how it works like this, it's like, hi, Deb, I've decided to select a candidate whose background and qualifications more suit the position, and you never give up, you never breathe, because you don't want to pause. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I was just about to say that. Would it be rude to send an email?
Yes. Yes, it would. Let me tell you why. Let me show you something. Candidate relationships. Hold that thought. because there are more candidates on the market, most companies are seeing a surge in candidates available. We're getting sloppier and sloppier about how we handle candidates. Search firms, by the way, are often worse, I'm sorry, because search firms want to keep their candidates happy so they don't always piss them off by telling them things. So, not saying you guys, but all right. So there's a failure to understand that recruiting is only about relationships and nothing else. That door is closed, you guys. Nobody else needs to know this. But recruiting is not rocket science. It's all about relationships. Personal and employer brands are being made during this time. So remember this. Many of you may remember about this shampoo. I'm going to show it to you. Remember Fabergé Organics? It had wheat germ oil and honey. And Farrah Fawcett got on TV. And she basically said, if you tell two friends about Fabergé Organics shampoo with wheat germ oil and honey, then they will tell two friends and what? Right. Some of the young ones here, they never heard of this. So the bottom line is it's viral marketing. Has anybody ever heard of Glassdoor? They're downstairs. Glassdoor, it's a way to tell two friends and a million more. Okay, so I was in Las Vegas, the SHRM conference about 2 or 3 months ago, and I pulled this up because this is on Wynn Resorts. I was staying at this hotel, and it actually shows that the company is not rated very good. 2.3 out of 5. Okay. Basically people have the ability to post things about companies on there. It also has information about interviews. So this was an average interview, positive experience, received and declined the offer, blah, blah, blah. When you get back to the office, check Glassdoor and see what it says about your company. People can say things about your company.